Hello friends and family, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're jumping back on Marvel's Tokon Fighting Souls, and finally, it has arrived. The second beta for this game, and I'm happy to announce that I'm very happy and glad that I got invited to test the game all over again. And I'll tell you this much, there's a lot of things going on this one. So I hope you're looking forward to. We're going to explore the characters, stages, and new mode. So stay tuned.
Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls!
Hello friends and family, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jack8097, also known as Kenpachi999, and tonight I have the privilege and the honor to once more get invited to play Tokon Fighting Souls, and I have been looking forward to play this game by the hour, minute, and second. They have announced the second beta, and I do apologize. I'm still under the weather. I've been having some issues, but other than that, it's not gonna stop us to review what's new for Tokon Fighting Souls. So, without further ado, we got a lot to discuss, and let's get into it. So for starters, at least so far for the beginners who hasn't touched the game for Tokon, the beta will start you playing the startup battle. It's like a tutorial showcasing like how to use the characters and how to play the game itself. It will show you the defense, the offense, and in between everything that you're going to need to learn to face other people. But back then, we only had two modes. On this one, we got three modes, and I'm very excited because last time I was thinking maybe not, but who knows at this point. Maybe they will add another mode that we can play on training. But on this one, we got even better. We got something even better than training, and it will be facing the CPU, which, in my opinion, it's fine. It's very great because that way we can get to see more things inside this role than anything. We get more information about it. So the last beta that we had the opportunity to get in, we got only 6 characters. We got from Captain America, Iron Man, Storm, Miss Marvel, Doctor Doom, and the last but not least, the man of the hour, Star-Lord. So before we start jumping in on the characters, we have to select the stage. And for this one, I'll say this much. I'm very happy how it looks, but at the same time, I'm a bit concerned what's going to be the last look for the stage selection. So at least so far, we got 3 stages, 2 that can do some transitions, and I'm happy to inform that at least so far we get to select the initial area that we want to play. So we got New York City, City Center, so we got Hell's Kitchen, and then last but not least we got the Avengers Museum. So for this one we got only 3 transitions, but for the Savage Land we got 5 transitions that it's like every single one of them, they're beautiful. So we got the Pinging Steps, we got the Ka SARS Treehouse, Ranchioris Forest, the Primal Jungle, and last but not least the Cavern of the Banished. So at least so far we got 5 transitions that is so gorgeous and unique from each other, but it's one giant stage right there. And last but not least, we got to see some glimpse on the X Mansion. So the X Mansion, it's not transition, but by the round that continues passing on, we get to see some glimpse here and there, like what's going to happen and what's changing. So we get to see some characters, and I think so far it's pretty cool. But here's my concern: how many stages are we going to get for this game in particular? Because if their focus is gonna be like very short stages, but some of them they're gonna be having like a lot of transitions. At least so far, in my opinion, just having between 6 to 8 stages it would be great. But I don't know, and I'm curious to see how many stages we can get on this one. So we agreed upon, at least so far, the stages. And also, on the right side, we can get to choose the music. I put it on random just to hear like like all the songs for the characters, except there's one character that didn't have his music on this one, and it will be Ghost Rider. And I will talk about the two new members that added on this roster that makes 8 characters playable. So we got a 8 character roster over here already. So at least so far, my favorite songs, I'm very happy to announce that it's gonna be Storm, Spider-Man, and last but not least, Doctor Doom. But here's Captain America, and most of the time, when you had the opportunity on the last beta to play, uh, you could select your song if I'm not mistaken. But also, by not selecting the song, just using the pointer character or the the character that you're going to be using, not as an assist, but as an anchor. At least so far, you can hear his song or her song. So we got Captain America, we got Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel is pretty cutesy, but Storm, I'm telling you right now, this song, the character himself, my God, that's how you command the elements. You command every single one of them with this song. Oh my God, it's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. Uh, Although, in my opinion, she is one of those characters that I truly want to play. But it's too much of a work, so maybe I will have time on the next one, or perhaps. But for this one, we get to hear Iron Man, and the Iron Man it seems like a little bit more on the Guilty Gear side, which, by the way, Arc System are the ones who are working on this project. So it seems very like we're using this from the Guilty Gear side. So I mentioned Storm that I enjoy her song and the character itself, which in my opinion she is a great character, but at the same time she's a hustle. She's a hustle to use. So you gotta be prepared to use and command all the elements. But other than that, the Spider-Man theme song, it's one of those songs that I will be using when we get the training mode. And it's just because of the electrifying song that is coming. Like it's so pretty cool. It just reminds me, like, I don't know, in one way or the other, just hey, we're in a training mode, let's rock it. And this is a song that I've been rocking so far. Sometimes I'll be putting them in random, but golly, man, Spider-Man, it's the one to go for me at least so far. So we got Star-Lord theme song with some, in a way or another, in my opinion, it's like similar to Captain America. It's just the tone changes just a little bit, but at the same time, pretty unique. It's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. But Metal Man, if you want to be the villain when you're facing opponents online or facing the CPU, Doctor Doom's theme song, it's going to be doing the job for you. If you want to be the villain on this battle, Doctor Doom's theme song is there. It got your back. At least so far, I'm enjoying this one when I want to like concentrate and lock in. This is a song for me, at least so far. But for this one, we're going for Spider-Man, and also we're going to go for the X-Mention.
Select
So,
your characters.
at least so far, like I mentioned, we got 2 new characters, 2 new edition characters over here. So completing the roster from 6 to 8, we got the Amazing Spider-Man over here, and the Ghost of Vengeance, Ghost Rider over here. So it's pretty amazing how it looks and how they play, and at least so far, I'm enjoying both those characters. In a way, or at least so far, in a way or another, I thought I was gonna be sticking around with Captain America since underneath the name you can see the ease of use. Captain America is a easy 5-star, also as Miss Marvel. The only 2 characters that I have seen that has less stars, it would be Storm and then Ghost Rider. Other than that, 4 stars is going to be Iron Man and then Spider-Man. And last but not least, 3 stars is going to be Star-Lord and which, in my opinion, my God, I don't know where to start those characters. they look amazing. They play amazing too. It just gives me the vibe that I'm going back that we had the opportunity to see the first time. And back then, I was lucky enough that I got invited to play the game itself. So I was pretty happy about it. And when we got the game outside, that's the same feeling that I have playing Tokon. So without further ado, we're going to be selecting the characters, and this is pretty cool. And this is the thing that I've been looking forward. Like the last time on the beta, I've been talking about that perhaps maybe the moment that we get, like for example, the Fantastic Four, because in the name it says four, so we get to play four characters. Let's say that by having the same team, at least so far, whereas Tokon fighters, it will change drastically. So let's say, for example, Fantastic Four team, or one of the X-Men, or even the Avengers. So it's one of those things that I'm looking forward to see how it's going to be interacting, at least by the names and also the characters itself. And don't get me wrong. I've been looking forward to some characters. Like for example, I've been looking forward on the X-Men side, Wolverine and Cyclops. At least so far, I'm a diehard Wolverine. But Cyclops, it's the only character that we have seen without the mods. At least so far on Marvel vs. Capcom Ultimate Team. At least so far, the only game that we had seen Cyclops, it has to be in NBC2 and Street Fighter versus X-Men, or X-Men versus Street Fighter. So it's pretty amazing to think that maybe they will go in that direction and showcase. At least so far, by selecting the entire character, the entire roster, and my part, we get to use and select the characters on the side of the NPC, or the CPU on that. But here's the thing, because options we get to see the CPU settings, and in the CPU settings we get to level 1 be easy to level 5, that everything gets rough. You're going to get a CPU who's going to be trying to test your skills from defense, offense, timing, distance, and everything else. Sometimes it feels that the CPU is going to be reading like your inputs, but sometimes I feel that I'm playing with, like, in a way or another, it's kind of weird because it makes me feel that I'm playing like a Street Fighter 6 on, like having a real match with a real person, but in reality it's just a CPU mimicking a fighting style from another player. So at least so far, I'm not 100% sure if they did that intentionally like that, but on this one, just for sake of showcasing the other two characters that we have over here, Spider-Man and Ghost Rider, I want to showcase the command list over here real quick. It's something that at least so far you get the opportunity to see like which button, at least so far. In my case, I have well, we're back. I'm sorry, I had a non-function over here. I got a situation with the microphone over here, but anyways, going back, we can get to see the entire thing from the command list, from the skills, the uniques, assembles, basic controllers, and also character data. So for Spider-Man over here, we could get to see like, hey, what's his good, like good moves, good skills, and good performance before we start like trying to train or trying to like go on the dark and try to uncover things, which by the way that was the old ways, and still some people do it. I'm surely I'm one of those guys that I'll be like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. But anyways, we get to see some character data from over here, the characters that we got on our team, but also we can switch up and see the entire thing on the other side also. So we got some descriptions. So anyways, going back on my team, and we're gonna switch the inputs display so we can see how to perform the inputs and which buttons are you going to look forward to. So like I showed earlier, I showed that at least so far in my control scheme, R2 is going to be my quick skill. So by switching all over again, that's why you see R2 forward, back, down, and neutral. So going back, Spidey sense it's one of those moves that I thought it was going to be down down instead of like having it uh, as a uppercut motion. But funny enough, Arcane Assault. I hope that I'm mentioning or pronouncing the word correctly. I do apologize. But anyway, the Assault kick, at least so far, we have it like throwing a Tatsumaki Zanpu kick or a Tornado kick. So at least so far, I was like a bit surprised, but at the same time, okay, that's something new. That's something very different. And as you can see, like on the side, we get some descriptions, especially with the web shot. With the web shot using like the light attack, in this case, it's gonna be square on my end. At least so far, it just shoots one projectile, but if you're in the air, it changes. So it's very cool having this descriptions of how the moves, like at least the skills and unique and everything works properly. So some of them they go like forward and showcase like, hey, this is the thing, but they don't showcase the entire thing in the sense like, for example, in this one they're just showcasing the light attack. They're not showcasing the entire thing. They're not showcasing the entire attack. So doing this triangle, if I'm not mistaken, let me see if my opponent be trying to attack me. Can you attack? Oh my god. Hopefully. There we go. So this is the mid attack. So medium attack, it will show you that in a situation that you're in a corner, you want to change that. At least so far with the medium attack, you change positions. So let's say if we get on the enhanced version, let's see. At least so far, the thing that I want to showcase that it depends on the attack. So if you're doing medium attack, light attack, or even heavy attack, it will give you different properties. Even the description helps just a little. It doesn't showcase the entire thing, but it will give you, like, for example, for the assault, we get to see that he lunges at the opponent, performing a backward leaping kick off of them and putting a forward direction during the attack alerts the distance of the leap. So technically speaking, if we get to hit him using the light attack, it will cover a close but also a mid distance, but the triangle is the one that it goes a little bit further in that. It doesn't go like long distances, but it will travel a little bit forward than anything. And also by doing the enhanced version, instead of like leaping and hitting like mid, it's going to be hitting low. And that's where the mix-up starts up. So the web bomb, it's one of those specials that I've been looking forward to see if it's gonna work like crazy. And this is the enhanced version. And the enhanced version, as you saw, it will hold the opponent down. So by trying to hit them with the medium, let's see if the opponent comes in. As you saw, that was the medium. Now here's the light. Hopefully the opponent gets hit. There we go. So using the light version of the web bomb, at least so far it just explode. So using the enhanced version of it, it will be even greater than doing it by hitting light or medium attack. That way you can hold them in place and do something very different. Like, for example, if we go to the unique side, we get the web sweep, and by holding the unique attack, you get the zip kick or the web slam, depending on if you're going to slam them or pull them. Because depending on the opponent, if it's blocking, you're going to pull them. If they're not blocking, by the web sweep, sip, my bad. At least so far, you're going to get a web slam. So at least so far, by depending of the situation, if the opponent is literally throwing projectiles like crazy, and you get to jump and do the whip hang, woo, that's where everything goes crazy. Because you can get the wet swing, or oh, let me see. There we are. And there we are. So at least so far in the air, it doesn't hold like long in the air and on top. It will go slowly but surely to the ground, and therefore you're going to be at least so far next to the opponent, and hopefully not. But at least so far, hey, you get to the floor. And Ghost Rider, this man, at least so far, he is pretty interesting to the point that it's like, yo, what are we even doing at this point? So for starters, we got Hellfire, Penance Driver, Judgment Crandall, additional inputs for that one, and also we got the Hell Scorch. But using the unique, that's where we get introduced by Vengeance Gauge. So the Vengeance Gauge technically works pretty cool in the sense by hitting the opponent by skill. But if you're going to use like the Revelator Chain or the Hell Throttle, at least so far the gauge is it's going to be depleting depending on which one are you going to be choosing. And not only that, depending on using this skill, for example the Penance Driver, it will deplete rapidly the gauge. But if you don't hit the opponent, that's where it gets like crazy. If you don't hit them, it will increase dramatically. So the point that you got to be very careful to not go overheat. By overheat, by doing any skill, it will put you in a staggered position, and therefore you're going to get major time of punish town. So at least so far you don't want to have that type of situation happening to you. So therefore, gotta be careful on filling that gauge up. But other than that, Hellfire is pretty cool, and depending on the attack that you choose to do it, and also depending on the gauge itself, you get like small variation, but not that much. So at least so far we got the enhanced version, but the enhanced version doesn't do too much. So you want to play a little bit more with the gauge than anything else. But if you want a start of doing the craziest thing and you have bars to spend, hey, do you. In between the square and the circle, meaning light and heavy, it's going to be a little bit quick. The enhanced version is a little bit quicker than the light version, but then again, you will lose the gauge itself like entirely. Other than that, we got the Judgment Crandall, and this is the one thing that I've been looking forward, because I didn't understood how people that were doing like other stuff until I got upon this one on this on the characters list. So special list over here says that certain hits change for a long range attack, excluding the final hit. The ground version can be follow up with an additional input to mix the opponent up. So depending on which attack you're hitting, the light version is going to be a feint, the heavy version, the medium version is going to be a low hit, and last but not least, the heavy version is going to be a overhead. So that's pretty cool on having like that type of mix up with Ghost Rider. But not only that, this character itself, like the buttons, he is a good and crazy character to have to play close or distance. So the Hell Scorch is gonna be like, for those who have played Dragon Ball Fighters, it's like similar to Hit. The only difference is it's not coming from him. It's going to, at least depending on the light and medium attack, it's going to appear. So having said that, the circle is going to, like the heavy version, my apologies, the heavy version is going to be appearing where the opponent is regardless. So it's pretty cool, it's pretty neat. And not to mention, I forgot to say this one, so super skill. So with Inferno Engine, this skill, at least so far, this super in particular, is going to be hitting the entire roster if you have like one opponent or the opponent with the assist. So at least so far, this one, ooh, pretty good and pretty dandy, more than the spider. like over here, Spider-Man over here, it just goes to a cinematic one, and it's pretty neat. Don't get me wrong, because it helps you out, like throwing the opponent in a distance, therefore doing a transition if you can. But if you're in this case in the X Mansion, you can do transition. So Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, it seems pretty cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie, those two characters, it's like crazy, man. Oh, and that's another thing. Like with Spider-Man, I forgot to mention, having that heavy attack by holding it, it doesn't follow up or cancel doing something different, but at the same time, oh my god, I messed up. So at least so far, it doesn't cancel to anything except specials or tags. So you're going to need to, at least so far, be careful on the mix-ups with Spidey over here. But other than that, at least so far, the characters itself are pretty good and pretty cool. And as you can see on the background, we get to see a different change. So we get to see Nightcrawler over here. We get to see Iceman. A little bit on the left side, we get to see Gambit, and we get to see I forgot her name. Oh my god. Apologies, guys. Psylocke? Psylocke was it? I'm not 100% sure. Mr. X over here on the top. Beast is working on the ship, but also if you wait for a little while, you get to see the giant freaking robots from the X-Men side. Let me take you over here on top, and you get to see the Sentinels over here. So it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. So let's go to the third one, and on the last but not least, we get to see the third and final thing that happens on the X-Men ship. The next transition, quote unquote, next transition, is the entire X-Men over here, from Nightcrawler, Gambit, Rogue, Beast, Mr. X, or Chalks the Savior, Colossal, Iceman, Angel, and then last but not least, Psylocke? Psylocke? I'm still thinking. I'm still thinking if that's her name or not. We get to see them like all ready to face the Sentinels over here, and also on the shadows, you're not gonna see it, but there's a huge shadow on the right side, and it's because we are underneath a Sentinel, and they're ready to fight the X-Men over here. Ooh. Ooh. It's pretty cool. And there we are. So I hope you guys enjoy the new characters if you're playing the current beta, and for those of you that are not able to get to play the beta and they're looking forward to see like what's going to be the next thing for this game, and at least so far seeing Spider-Man and Ghost Rider over here, I'm going to be playing against the CPU, and I'm gonna start playing on level 3 to level 5, and by changing the levels, if I win 2 times, I'll increase the level until I get to win only 2 times. So I get to try to win 2 times on level 5 and see how many times I lose to the CPU. So I hope you look forward to this, and I hope you enjoy the video. Stay tuned for more fighting games. This game, it's getting incredibly amazing and beautiful by the second, minute, and hour, and days that pass on this one. So I'm looking forward to the other characters, and leave a comment. Leave a comment saying like, hey, which characters are you looking forward to it? So that's gonna be a wrap. My name is Jack87, also known as Apache 999, and as always, guys, take care.